Sitting at the helm, navigating waters in this crypto realm. Charts like constellations, I'm mapping the stars. Wallets full of dreams, I'm stacking the bars. Digits dance, decimals do the samba. Markets a jungle, I'm Tarzan in the drama. Blockchain spinning, a digital parade. I'm the tour guide through the mess we wade. Huddle or fold, the question burns. In this game of risk, the tables turn. Good morning, crypto, I light up the haze, guiding the lost through these crypto waves. From FOMO to fortune, I'm paving the ways. BC Port Corp, your lighthouse ablaze. Bull stampede, bears in hibernation. I'm the translator for this strange equation. Ether rising, Bitcoin flexing, altcoins whisper, I'm here dissecting. Rug pulls lurking, shadows in the mist. I see the red flags, they don't make my list. Whales making splashes, minnows feel the quake, but I'm the steady hand when the markets shake. I'm the translator for the strange equation. Ether rising, Bitcoin flexing, altcoins whisper, I'm here dissecting. Rug pulls lurking, shadows in the mist. I see the red flags, they don't make my list. Whales making splashes, minnows feel the quake, but I'm the steady hand when the markets shake. Ablaze.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge and financial freedom. Today, I've only got two headlines I'd like to talk about. One of those is going to be tying into some of those rate cut possibilities. We have been seeing that wane. We did see them cutting rates to help jobs, and we're continuing to see people cut jobs in lieu of investing in AI. So we will get into that one in a little bit. We're also seeing the nuclear companies that are going to be getting a lot of money over the next 10 years. So stay tuned for that. But before we get to all of that, we've got that stock heat map pulled up in the background. We're seeing quite a movement in the pre-market this morning. So let's see what's going on. We've got Apple sitting a little bit to the downside this morning, down 0.27. We've got Nvidia sitting a little bit green this morning, was a little bit red, now a little bit green, up 0.06. We've got Berkshire Hathaway sitting to the downside at 0.03%, looking quite neutral. We've got Amazon down 0.36, Eli Lilly down 0.05. We've got ExxonMobil up 0.31. We've got Tesla down 0.06, P&G up 0.24. We've got Microsoft down 0.36 this morning, Google sitting down 0.34, and Meta sitting down 0.65. Hopping over to the crypto side, not looking too different over here. We've got quite a bit of red bubbles and a few green ones. Kind of seeing a little bit of a potential for some bouncing on the shorter term time frame, but we do need to find some solid support here. We've got Bitcoin down 1.6, Ethereum down 0.2. All of these starting to see a little bit of green on the hourly. We've got XRP down 4.5. BNB, no change on the board on that daily. Solana, also no change on the board on the daily. We've got Tron up 1.1%. Dogecoin sitting down 1.2. We've got Cardano down a full percent. Bitcoin Cash down a full percent. And Chainlink sitting down a full percent. Leo token sitting down 3.2. Kinda a little bit different than we normally see. Usually when the market's red, we've got Leo token as that exchange token being that spot for safety. It's becoming less and less that spot for safety. Kind of looking like a lot of people are leaning towards that sentiment that the bear market might be in effect. We've got Stellar Lumens down at 3.8, SWE sitting down 1.7, Hyperliquid little bit green right now, sitting up a spot in that market cap and up 3.6%. Litecoin losing that spot in the market cap, down 0.5%, and we've got Avalanche sitting up 0.5%. Hopping over to those fear and greeds, stock market looking extremely neutral this morning, sitting at 52, no change from yesterday. We've got the crypto side of things also looking quite neutral, kind of a little bit unexpected for me, considering that we didn't really get that strong of a move towards the upside. A lot of people were kind of expecting a little bit of a stronger move towards the upside, and we'll kind of have to take a look at that Bitcoin chart in just a second to see what kind of hopium they were looking for. Let's get this move to the 0.8 because that's what we like to look at it on. We've got quite a bit of liquidity still sitting directly towards the upside here, just below that $96,000 point. We've got that starting at 95,200, ranging all the way down to about 94,700. So kind of keep your eyes on some of that area. If we can find some strong support directly below us, which we'll call that level out in just a second, that'd be that area to kind of see if we can get back up and grab. We would have to make it back through the top side of that old fair value gap though. So keep your eyes on that area if we can get back through that fair value gap top. For now, we have been rejecting off of that, so we'll kind of have to see if we're going to make our way back towards the downside here, grab up some of this liquidity at 91,100 all the way down to $90,000. Zooming this on out just a little bit further here, taking a look at this 1 month. Like we've talked about before, that 1 month chart really cleared out most of the liquidity in our local range, and we'll have to see where that next area we go and grab is at. Kind of looking like we might get that grab towards the upside before really confirming a bear market, but we will have to see if we make our way back up towards that $108,000 range. That's where most of that liquidity is residing towards the upside. We do have quite a bit towards the downside though that could really drag us down, really put that bear market in full effect. That's all the way down here at $71,000 there. Let's hop on over to that economic calendar because we do have some data we will need to keep our eye on today. Starting at 8 a.m., we have a little bit of data coming out. Mortgage rate applications, not looking for that to be a giant impact on the market this morning, especially since our 10-year yield hasn't really been changing. So I would be expecting that mortgage rate to not really be changing either. Getting on down to the 10 a.m. time frame though, that's where you really start to see our heavy data. We will be getting ISM services PMI. 52.3 is that forecast, just a little bit of a decrease from prior. Nothing too worrisome on that data. The big one to keep your eye on this morning, though, is going to be the JOLTS job opening. Looking like a slight decrease from last time, so we'll kind of have to keep our eyes on that, see if we can get a little bit of some pumping off of that news. That's going to be at 10 a.m. Could continue to see just a little bit of some sell-off in the morning until we get some of those job numbers. So keep your eye on that. Let's get over to that Bitcoin chart. Say good morning to the people in the chat. We had Rug Pulling Rabbit first in the house this morning, aka Jay. Good morning, good morning. We've got Eric Ballin Wallen in the house. Good morning to you, sir. We've got Melissa One Love in the house. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see who else we got in here. We got JR in the house, King Degen. He'll be going live right after me, so we will get that redirect all set up. Once he gets that stream set up, we've got Ella Cass in the house. Good morning to you. And Celinda Anderson saying, selling BTC to induce shorts, waiting for CME gap fills. And that's part of the reason we're kind of looking for a support area. We'll kind of have to see if we can get that support down here at the midline of this old fair value gap. We got a lot of rejections off of it when we were on the bottom side, kind of continued with that bearishness. We will kind of have to see if we can get some support down in that range and then see if we can make our way back up to this $96,000 mark. That's that first area I really got my eye on. It is a very, very strong 4-hour resistance point. Do have a little bit of liquidity up above that, so we will kind of have to keep our eyes on that. We are trying to hold the top side of our fair value gap this morning. 4-hour is still looking a little bearish though. We are losing just a little bit of our volume this morning. As you can see, this prime oscillator starting to get that curvature and just starting to hit that red point. So keep your eyes on some of that short-term time frame money flow. We will have to see if we can switch this back from red to green here, see if we can hold at least the midline of that fair value gap, at least see a little more sideways action on the top side of what has been our sideways range for going on a month and a half now. I did say to kind of look for a continuation of our sideways movement here. We've talked about that for quite a while now. This has really been our sideways range for now, and we'll kind of have to see if we're going to continue that trend for just a little bit. I did call out about the middle of January to really start seeing some strong moves in one direction or another. That's still what I got my eye on here. We're still pretty range bound between that 93,800 and our 382 down here at 84,000. We got Jay Violet in the house this morning. Good morning to you. And Steve Hickey as well. Good morning. We will kind of have to watch some of this money flow here. It has been doing some battle with that top side of that old fair value gap. That's $92,000. Midline's coming in at about 90,000. We'll kind of have to see if we make our way back towards that $90,000 mark for some support. Things are still looking a little bearish here on the 4-hour. You get over to the 1-hour, you're starting to see a little bit of some bottoming indicators here, but you could definitely continue towards the downside just a little bit more. As you can see, you're starting to lose a lot of your money flow here, making a little bit of a lower high on this peak, and your volume is in that sell volume. So like we were saying, kind of watch that money flow this morning, try to see if we can get a little bit of a change of trend. We did make a little bit of a wrong button there. We did make a little bit of a higher low here. We'll kind of have to see if we get a little bit of some price constriction in this area, get another lower high, really see that reject towards the downside with how the 4-hour was looking there and how that 1-hour isn't fully bottomed just yet. So we'll kind of have to keep our eyes on that. Doesn't mean you don't get those bounces within that range. So kind of keep your eyes on this constricting area here. We do have that ability to come back down towards the downside. Like we said, there's a lot of liquidity in this area here. So keep your eyes on that. That'd be the easier spot to really grab before we try to make our way back towards the upside there, especially if we have those favorable job numbers. The better move for the most money to be made would be pushing it towards the downside, really clearing out a lot of that liquidity before you try to grab all of that liquidity towards the upside there. Let's get that 15-minute chart pulled on up here, see what's going on there. We're really starting to see a few more bottoming signs here, but as you got that little bit of a pump this morning, you really saw your money flow kind of struggle to maintain with that positive buying pressure. You lost your volume all over again as well. So we'll kind of have to see if we're going to make another lower high here and then really continue towards the downside with a little more strength. You have been staying below your VWAP all morning, looking like that's another little resistance point to kind of keep your eye on. That's coming in at about 92,500 this morning, so keep your eye on that. That could be our little rejection spot with this little pump that we're getting right now above that fair value gap top. Do we have any alt requests or some stock requests this morning? We've got plenty of time to take a look at those. I did have a few news articles to go on over, and we're definitely going to be taking a look at some gold and some silver. We did want to take a look at a few other things as well, like the Dixie, so we will take a look at that one as well. Let me get all those on the list, and let's get silver on there and gold, and I see Solana and BCO. We can take a look at those. So BCO stock, we'll get that on the stock side. Solana for an alt. ASTS, we'll get that on the stock side because we know that one's a stock. Any other ones? JR being an absolute degen in here. Is that an actual project? Because I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because you know, there's a lot of people just like you that are degens. JR, we've got Bonk and VVV. All right, that's several to take a look at this morning. We'll see if we got some time for some other ones. I see Knight requested as well. Got that on the list. Hopefully we can get through 9 assets this morning. So let's hop over to those news articles, and then we will see what is going on with the stock market and some of those alts. This one was that first one I really wanted to go over before we dive a little bit into Microsoft's continued layoffs, because they were laying people off in Q4 of last year, and it looks like they're not going to be slowing down. But before we get to that, we've got the U.S. awarding Peter Thiel-Backed nuclear startups $900 million. So, U.S. government is shelling out a whopping $2.7 billion to 3 companies in effort to strengthen domestic uranium enrichment among surging electricity demand for AI data centers. The Department of Energy announced on Monday that it will award $900 million each to American Centrifuge Operating, we've talked about that one before, and Areno Federal Services, as well as General Matter. We have talked about General Matter here as well. That one has been on the list. We haven't talked about it as much, but that one was definitely one to keep your eye on. The funding will be distributed through task orders over the next 10 years, under what the department describes as a strict milestone approach. The strategy goal is to wean the nation's 94 commercial nuclear reactors off foreign fuel supplies, particularly Russia. Russia currently controls roughly 44% of the world's uranium enrichment capacity and supplies about 35% of the U.S.'s nuclear fuel imports, according to the Energy Department. So we've talked quite a bit here about nuclear energy. It is that big next sector to kind of keep your eyes on if we really want to be energy dependent. And like it said, we do have a very, very big foreign dependence when it comes to getting our nuclear fissionable material. one part of that has been how scared we have been here in the US of having nuclear reactors and even dealing with nuclear fissionable material. We'll kind of keep our eyes on this one going forward, because the big thing that these companies are going to be doing is not just making new nuclear reactors, but also being able to have the uranium here in the United States and then provide it to our own companies here, getting ourselves off of that dependence of Russia and a few other countries as well. So keep your eyes on some of this. There is that 10-year milestone that they're going to try to hit. You're already seeing a few companies that are ahead of the game in this, like OKLO, looking to make a factory in Tennessee. They've already started on that process, a $1.8 billion facility to recycle already used nuclear fissionable material, which we've talked about here before. You don't use all of your fuel when it's in these reactors. About 85% of that is still usable, and you just have to recycle it so that you can use it again. So that's that other area to kind of keep your eye on there. We've got Theridium is where it's at, says Eric Balamal. I'll have to dive further into that one. For now, I've just been keeping my eye on where the money has been going. But if that might be a next area to pop, we will definitely dive into that one. I got an airdrop of Night, says Jay Violet. I don't think I've ever got an airdrop in my life, but that kind of tends to be the process when you only buy Bitcoin and then you just move it to a cold wallet and then you buy some stocks. So that's pretty much all I do. Buy Bitcoin and find where people are dumping money in the stock market. Let's see, we got Mark Dutch in the house. If you've got those Bitcoin clog emojis, go ahead and drop them in there for them. Let's get on over to this other news article, because this one ties into a lot of what we were seeing at the end of year with our rate cutting cycle, and why I didn't really think that it was going to affect the markets too much. It did help, like I said, the big producers, your banking industry. Those were the people that really got helped, and their whole goal of cutting the rates to spur jobs was never going to be a thing, especially since Microsoft plans thousands of job cuts as AI spending accelerates. And that's that big reason that cutting those rates was never going to help the jobs. A lot of these companies, they're okay losing the job, investing that money in AI, and they're just, distributing the tasks that those people would have been doing between the people that they kept, and having AI pick up some of that slack. So how are you going to help a job market by cutting rates when we're in a completely different style economy than we've ever been before? We've warned a lot about what AI potential is to the job market as it continues to progress. And I don't think the Fed is prepared for how to accurately really handle this new kind of economy. So we will dive a little bit further into this one. Microsoft is reportedly planning another round of job cuts in January. So this month, between 11,000 and 22,000 roles could be removed worldwide. That equals 5 to 10% of its total workforce. Massive job cuts there. The cuts are expected to take place the third week of January. Reports from workers point to Azure Cloud's teams, the Xbox gaming unit, and global sales as key areas of focus. So far, Microsoft has not yet confirmed the plan. This move could follow a difficult 2025. During that year, Microsoft cut more than 15,000 jobs across several rounds. These actions came even as revenue and profit stayed strong. So that's that big thing. These places aren't cutting jobs because they're really struggling here. They're cutting jobs because what they're going to be investing in, what they're dumping all of their money in, is going to make it where they didn't even need those people, and they won't need even more people going forward. So how is cutting rates going to fix any of that when these companies don't even need those people anymore because an AI program is going to be doing those jobs? At the same time, Microsoft is spending heavily on AI systems. In the first quarter of fiscal 2026 alone, capital spending reached $34.9 billion. The company expects total spending for the year to pass $80 billion, which would be higher than fiscal 2025. Most of that money is going towards data centers, chips, and AI tools. Due to the shift, analysts believe Microsoft is moving funds away from payroll and into long-term tech assets. As a result, middle managers and older product teams may face higher risk. And this is a big part of what we've talked about here before. When people are saying that AI is taking jobs, it is not AI directly taking a job. This is companies investing in AI in lieu of paying employees. A lot of these tasks are getting distributed among the employees that they keep, and they're dumping all of that money that they would have paid people with into these AI investments so that maybe in 2 years or so, you actually have the AI completely removing all of those people that stayed there. So how is your Fed cutting rates going to prevent any of this? It's not. We're going to have to start looking at the economy completely differently than we've ever looked at it before. And that's been a big struggle for the Fed. The Fed kind of keeps their eye on the way things have always been. And even though they said that the economy's fine and we're pretty much banking all this on AI, they're not looking at the repercussions that AI really has here. So in our last FOMC, we had Jerome Powell talking about all of the money that's coming into the US economy, all of the investments that are being made, all of the growth that's been happening, and all of those are specific to 7 companies. And those 7 companies are heavily AI dependent, growing AI, growing the AI infrastructure, and he's banking the entire economy on that, but also not really taking into account the repercussions of all of these investments. All of these investments mean that less people are going to be able to have jobs. So we'll keep our eyes on this and see if we kind of get some kind of pivot from a new federal FOMC chair. But I don't see that happening just yet. So keep your eyes on some of that as this all goes forward. Let's see. Real estate and mortgage-based companies will explode Q3 to 4 this year. And we've kind of talked about more not residential, but more of like the business side of mortgages because they're buying up land like crazy. So much so that you've got companies looking at putting AI data centers in space because they're like, screw all this. There's too much competition on the ground. Where there's no competition, up in outer space. So Google's talked about that. You've got SpaceX talking about that. You've also got Microsoft talking about that. So that's that next real area we're kind of looking at. And if SpaceX goes public, could be big. That'll be a lot of money going into there, especially with what Elon Musk had just said. They want to make 10,000 rockets a year. So if that's the case, we know what's happening next. They're going to be putting AI data centers in space. We did have a few things to go on over before we get to some of those alt requests this morning. One of those is going to be gold. Of course, we love gold around here. We've been talking about silver since before silver started moving, and silver's finally having us feeling vindicated, just like all those gold bugs are finally feeling vindicated after years of talking about gold. So let's get on over to that gold chart here. We've got plenty of movement back above what was our resistance area. We were talking about that the other day, kind of keeping our eye on 4,382. If we can get that move back above there, really see some strong bouncing off of that area, we could continue back up towards those all-time high areas. We got extremely close. We got to $4,500 before we really saw a little bit of some pullback. We did make some very equal lows down here, so potential to sweep those on the shorter term time frame before we really see some stronger bouncing. Let's get this zoomed on out. Take a look at this 4-hour chart here. See what's going on, because we're also seeing some toppiness here. We'll kind of have to see with this lower high if we can really confirm our strong support at 4,382. That's kind of what we were looking for on a shorter term time frame as well, to get that strong bounce. Now we want to see this confirmed on a higher term time frame as well, really put in a higher low here and then try to break what is our resistance up at that 4,500 price point. We are seeing just a little bit of red money flow here on our 4-hour time frame, but we're starting to see that pickup of volume. So kind of keep your eyes on some of that shorter term time frame. See if we're really going to break some of our local support at 4,441. If we do break that, I would look for that 4,382 to see that nice little strong bounce, and then really see if we can break above our local resistance to get that all-time high on gold all over again, especially with how things have been looking in our economy and how we're seeing that re-strengthening of our petrodollar while we're starting to print a little more money, because reverse repos are finally starting to slow down because they've injected some short-term liquidity in the system. Gold might continue to get that pump towards the upside. So keep your eyes on some of that there. Let's get this over to that 1-hour chart. 1 hour also starting to see a little bit of some bottoming signs, but you are getting that money flow divergence. So really looking for that break towards the downside, confirm our high term time frame support, and then continue towards the upside here. We do have a little bit further to go on this. We're sitting in the light red. Doesn't mean you don't continue to see some downside action as you're starting to lose some of this money flow and your volumes in the red here. So keep your eyes on this first local support area. That was 4,400. See if we can make our way back down towards this 4,382 for our stronger support. It was resistance for quite a while. That was also that all-time high. So I'd really like to see that area kind of confirmed as some support to get that stronger move back towards some all-time highs on gold. 15-minute and the morning looking a little bit toppy here as we're really starting to lose some of this money flow. You can see it starting to fall off a cliff there, not too unexpected after a nice strong move towards the upside and leaving that area of resistance untested. So kind of watch for that. This was the breakout. Watch for that retest and then see if we can get those stronger moves towards the upside there. Microslop are going to do layoffs. Yeah, not too unexpected. It is the status quo from 2025, and they're dumping all of that money into AI. They're looking to almost double their investments into AI, and they've invested quite a bit of money into AI. So watching that trend really continue, all of these corporations are really on that same path there. We talked about silver as well the other day. We wanted to see 77.52 be our area where we broke through. We did get a better retest on that area on a shorter term time frame here. Let's get this zoomed on out to that higher term time frame there, because as you can see, just like on gold, breaking through our resistance area, not retested on a higher term time frame. So we did get that nice little sideways momentum on top of it before we really got that pushback towards our 2618, really close to those old all-time highs. We'll kind of have to see if we can find our support back down here on a higher term time frame at that 77.52, and then get that stronger push towards the upside here. So nice strong move towards the upside for some silver. Found that resistance at that 2618, and you're really starting to see just a little bit of toppiness here. But the difference here is you've still got that nice green money flow, and your volume's just starting to pick back up, just like it was picking up on gold. So kind of looking for that absorption area towards the downside. That was that old resistance. You got that nice strong bounce on the 1 hour. Really looking for that nice strong bounce on the 4 hour there. We do have a little more downside to go to cool off these oscillators, but you're just starting to see a little bit of sideways momentum stepping on in. You do have some nice green money flow, starting to get that curvature back towards the upside, but your volume's just a little bit red here. So kind of keep your eyes on that. We could continue towards the downside just a little bit here. We're not far off of that 77.52 to really see that strong bouncing action, and then see if we can get through our local resistance at that 2618. That's coming in at about $82.30. So keep your eyes on some of that. See if we can get that nice breakthrough there. We are starting to look a little cooled off on about the hourly and the 15-minute. But your big problem is your red money flow. You do have a little bit of red volume here, but you can start to switch that extremely quickly. We are starting to get that pickup of volume on the 4 hour, so we'll kind of have to see if we can get that absorption at that 77.52. If not, really looking for that stronger bounce at our stronger support at about $75. That's that trend line that we've been holding for quite a while on silver on the higher term time frame. So that'd be that area to kind of keep your eyes on. As you can see, we've held this for some support since about December 12th. So that has been our area of support on that higher term time frame. A nice area to potentially see some bouncing at if we do lose 77.52. 77.52 though is going to be that first area I'd kind of look for that bouncing at. If you don't hold that, then looking for that $75 price point. We've got Vegas Claw in the house. Good morning, good morning. We've got Jay Violet celebrating 12 months of membership. I appreciate you here every morning, and congratulations on that 12 months. Let's see, JR saying I'm off and on between meals. Doing some charting and YouTube. Let's see, what time, JR? All day. Ask questions, share alpha. Oh, he's talking about the Discord. Okay, let's see. We've got New Gecko in the house. Good morning to you. We've got Loco for Crypto, aka Donato Cabrera, in the house. Good morning. Hope you're having a great day so far. We've got a few other things to go over before we get to all of those alt requests. That was going to be the Dixie, and then we'll get to those alt requests and stock requests, and then if we got some time, we'll take a look at some of those nuclear stocks that we were talking about there. So we were talking about an area of resistance here on the Dixie. We really saw that came back in. That was our very local resistance area. Got that nice strong rejection off of it on the higher term time frame here. We'll kind of have to see if we can start to pick up a little bit of momentum. I'm not really expecting that to continue too much further than that. Getting this pulled up on our 4 hour, as you can see on this 4 hour, really starting to see those stronger rejections here as well. You've got your MACD and your prime oscillator both losing some strength, starting to see a little sideways momentum coming on in. Doesn't mean you don't get a little bit of a continuation back towards that 98.82. If we really start to lose this with some strength here all over again, we've got our nice strong support down here at about 97.40. If we're losing all of that, would be good for some assets. So kind of keep your eyes on that. We're at a bit of an indecision point for the dollar. So keep your eyes on some of that. We do have that hourly Also looking a little bit toppy here, starting to see that sideways momentum coming on in on that MACD. You're also seeing that curvature back over on that prime oscillator, and your volume is extremely red here. Really seeing that uptrend starting to falter here at that 98.80 point. So a lot of resistance that we're really failing to get above. 15-minute in the morning, really looking like you might get that next little bounce up towards that 98.80 before you see that harsher rejection towards the downside, which would be bullish for some assets. So keep your eyes on some of that this morning. We had a few stocks to go over this morning. That was BCO and ASTS. So let's get over to those. I haven't seen BCO before. So let's get our stock list pulled up. We got BCO and Brinks Company. I know of Brinks, but I don't think I've ever looked at the stock there. We've got Kingdom Come VIP. Your voice is soothing. I appreciate that. You know, this is me not really putting in a whole lot of effort in on that voice either. So this is just that natural good morning voice for you. So we keep it nice and calm around here. We got Al Jr. in the house. Good morning, sir. Hope you're having a great day. Coming in strong with those all caps. Let's see. We had someone else. No, I guess I missed it. I swear I saw someone new coming in, but apparently not. Let's get this zoomed on out. Take a look at that 4 hour. See what's going on here. Might have to zoom this out even further. Take a look at this 1 week. See what's going on. Nice strong uptrend here. Let's get a fib extension level pulled on up. Since we're sitting at all-time highs, we don't really know where to go next. So we got our lows here all the way at 47.95, 94 to our highs here at 115.79. Nice strong move towards the upside and nice strong bounce towards that golden pocket here on our fib extensions before we started to see a little resistance. So let's see where we can head next. Let's get this zoomed on in. This is that weekly chart. You are seeing a little bit of toppiness here, but it takes a while for those weekly charts to play on out. So let's see if we can get a little bit higher in the shorter term time frame. We are seeing a little bit of curvature here on our MACD. We'll kind of have to see if we can get some continuation of money flow here, because that's going to be that big thing to keep your eye on. We are getting that curvature back on our volume towards the upside. You're seeing a few bottoming indicators here as well, really in a row. We did get this nice strong push in of some money flow. We'll kind of have to see if we can get that repeat all over again. Would look for that platinum pocket area at about 135 if you can get through our golden pocket here. So that's that big if to keep your eye on. That's coming in at about 122. If you can get through that area, really looking for a strong move towards the upside. You are seeing some nice cool off after some sideways momentum between our golden pocket and our 382 on our fib extensions. So kind of seeing if we can get that break through our golden pocket. For now, looking like price is pretty much exactly where it closed from yesterday. Let's get this zoomed on in. Take a look at our 1 hour here. As you can see, this 1 hour starting to see a little bit of toppiness here. We'll kind of have to see what happens with this money flow though, because just because you're looking toppy doesn't mean anything if your money flow really starts to come back in with some strength. I might have to do some research here on the Bricks Company and see why they're getting these strong moves towards the upside. I don't know if they've got something crazy going on in the background that's really getting some investments put into them, or if there's just some random reason where it's like, hey, this is really battered down, there's not a lot of volume, so we could really move it towards the upside. Those are those two real things that move stocks, you know, and crypto as well. You know, low volume, low money flow, and you're like, hey, I've got a bunch of money here. It wouldn't take much to push this towards some all-time highs. So I will do some research on this one and see what I find. We've got that 15-minute and the morning, also looking a little bit toppy here. As you can see, we've got this nice sideways momentum below our golden pocket, and the 50% and above that 50% line pretty much stayed in our CME gap that we made from that push off of the 50 and that rejection off of the golden pocket. So let's get that one drawn on up so we can see that just a little bit better there. This has been our nice sideways range. Let's get this colored in black in the background because that is closed. But like we've said over and over before, just because that gap is closed doesn't mean you don't play off of it over and over again. As you zoom this on in, you can see it a little bit better here. Solid rejections over and over and over again off of that top side. Nice strong support off of this bottom side. Got a little bit of play off of the midline, but not a whole lot. So kind of looking to see if we get a little rejection off of 121 with a little bit of some pump in the morning. We are starting to see that break of money flow from red to green here, but you're really losing that volume. So could get that quick little push up in the morning before that stronger rejection. We are looking for about 117.77 to hold as some support. Could get some deviations below, but look for 117.77 first, see how price reacts. If we are really seeing that strong movement of money flow off of that with some continued sell pressure, looking back towards our bottom side around 114 where we've got that 50% line would be the move to watch for. So a lot of toppiness on that higher term time frame. Could just get that cool off with that continued sideways movement in our range here. So I will do some digging into that one. We got ASTS on the list as well. Let's see what's going on with that one. It has been a little while since we've taken a look at it. There we go. Whew. Nice strong movements back towards the upside there. Extremely close towards our all-time highs. You know, we called out the level to kind of keep your eye on way down here. That was $62. Got that nice strong bounce off of that level when we couldn't hold the 236. Got back above that 236 with some strength, and we're now above that golden pocket. Let's see what's going on that higher term time frame, see if we're looking a little bit toppy here, because we're extremely close to all-time highs. Let's see what's going on. We do have that ability to see a little bit of continuation here. You are seeing a little sideways momentum starting to come on that prime oscillator, but your money flows also just starting to come back in. Your volume's been extremely green as well, so keep your eyes on some of that platinum pocket at 102. 102.34 could be that resistance area. We'll kind of have to see how price reacts at that price point, and then see if we get a little bit of some cool off with a bounce off of that golden pocket area. Pre-market is opening up towards the downside, and it is holding that golden pocket. So that's kind of what we would be looking for. It gives you a little bit of cool off on that shorter term time frame, and we will see if we can get some continued money flow coming on in. If we can't, we do have some areas down here to kind of watch for some support at. Equal candle bodies, $86.50. We'd really have to see a strong change of some money flow though. So let's get this zoomed on in, take a look at this 1 hour. What's going on in the chat? BC, help me get 3 more mods. YouTube trying to hold us back. Well, you know, we can definitely do that. Just start off with your most like your everyday viewers. Find one for the morning, find one for the evening. Don't nominate me until later because I'm still busy at work. Just throwing it out there. Let's see. American politeness is a disease. Oh, let's see. Truth hurts if you're not Dutch. Truth hurts if you're not, or truth hurts if you're liberal, and if you're not, I'm kidding. Let's not get into all of that here. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Also, Venezuela rebuild. They are going to be used, from what I understand. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of talk. We'll kind of have to see what happens with that Venezuela, because potentially for now they're looking to have some American companies really taking a step back in there, but also kind of trying to promote some capitalism, and we will see if that benefits the Venezuelan people at all, and if they're gonna have a favorable government to them, because that's that big part where they have talked about that potential transition of change in the leadership, but definitely could just send right back down towards the same path. It is South America, and it's pretty common for your cartels to just take over countries. So we'll just kind of have to see how this one all plays out. Has been really nice for their stock market, though. Their stock market was up like 25% after all that happened. So a little bit of toppiness here on the shorter term time frame as well. Volume fell off a cliff, so really looking to see that resistance at those all-time highs if you get this hold up of money flow in the shorter term time frame. Nice little cool off here in the pre-market. Could see that nice strong bounce towards the platinum pocket. That was ASTS. So let's get through some of these alt requests. We had Night on the list. Let's get through that one first. Crypto Night. Let's see what's going on. I'm pretty sure I looked at it on a different, I guess not. So let's see. Oh, there we go. Found the one we did some charting on. Nice strong move towards the 1618. Came back down towards our golden pocket. Nice strong bounce up towards about the midline between our 1 and our 1618 before we really confirmed our downtrend here. Nice strong support back at that golden pocket. So we'll kind of have to see if this golden pocket area is going to continue to be our support here. You're seeing some strong curvature on that money flow back towards the upside here on the 1 hour. Let's get this 4 hour pulled on up. Nice strong bottoming, but the big issue is your money flow here. So demonstration tool, money flow really fell off a cliff. So could see a little bit of sideways momentum in this range here. Really see if we get that nice little bouncing action off of that golden pocket all over again. Really solidify it as some support. We got a lot of wicking action off of that before we got that rejection off the platinum pocket. Could see that golden pocket coming as support all over again at 0.75 to see that stronger break above it. Let's see what's going on that hourly getting that double rejection off of that platinum pocket. Money flow really starting to slow up on that sell pressure, but looking a little bit toppy here. So prime oscillator looking a little toppy. You are struggling with that MACD just a little bit, so we'll kind of have to see if we get that rejection off of that platinum pocket again to really see some stronger cool off. Get that break above it after a little bit of cool off. Let's get this 15-minute in the morning pulled on up, because you're starting to see that change of volume, but we want to see that change of money flow here as well. 15-minute in the morning, also seeing that change of money flow here. Nice strong sell off. It has slowed up quite a bit. Your volume's in the red, not too unexpected after all of that, but nice strong sideways momentum. I would look for that 0.8 to break to see if we can get that continuation towards the upside, or if we're just going to see that nice strong rejection off of 8 cents and then see that golden pocket come in all over again. Kind of favoring that 8-cent rejection for a little more cool off before we get that stronger move towards the upside there. Let's see. We had VVV requested. Let's take a look at that one. Let's see. I'll try to live it from the. I'll try live from the right account. Oh my goodness, Jr. Get your poop in a group. We've got Redmond in the house. Good morning, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see, VVV, and then I think we got time for Bonk or Solana. So y'all let me know what you want to see. You want to see some Solana or you want to see some Bonk? Let's get VVV pulled up. King Degen's favorite project. I believe we looked at it on Coinbase. Hopefully we looked at it on Coinbase. Let's get it zoomed on out. See what's going on. I guess it's been forever since I looked at this. Maybe I didn't look at it on Coinbase and we looked at it on something else. But we can get some more local fibs pulled on up here and see what's going on, because it looks like we do have some nice bottoming here. Nice rounded bottom, but you're seeing just a little bit of toppiness on that price action. We'll kind of have to see if we can get some better price history on another stream. But let's pull up some local fibs. High to low. Seeing that 382 being our little bit of a resistance area, would look to see if we can hold our 236. That's $1.83. That'd be a nice price point to kind of hold. See if we can get that continuation of money flow off of that. Money flow is looking a little bit toppy. Your volume looking a little bit toppy as well, and your oscillators are looking a little bit toppy. But on the shorter term time frame, you could get that nice cool off of that 236 bounce. You are holding structure extremely nicely here, but you're really starting to see that parabolic move. So I would look to see that break, see if we can hold that 236 at $1.80. Looks like Solana is the one that's getting voted for over Bonk. I don't really like Bonk, so I'm glad with that vote there. I'm not a big memer. We are seeing some curvature here on the hourly, so like we were saying, a nice strong move towards that 382 for that stronger rejection towards the bottom. That would be the move I'd kind of watch, unless you really see that money flow coming back in with some strength. VVV does do that over and over again. You didn't read it, my poop in a group. JR, when you drop a YouTube paragraph here, and I'm trying to squeeze in some charting at the end of the show, it's a little bit hard to read the whole thing. So I look dumber than I am. Hey, sometimes it happens to the best of us. I couldn't even find the first three one day, and then they popped up, and not the others. I'll just mail YouTube in. I'm assuming that's on your mods. So we can get you all sorted here once I got more free time during the day. January 19th, sir. We will fix all of these problems here. We got a little bit of a downtrend on the shorter term time frame. Would look to see if we can get that break above that. Shorter term time frame does have that resistance here. We'll kind of have to see if we can get that break above it. We are looking a little bit toppy on the shorter term time frame now, so could get that nice little sweep of liquidity. See if we can get that bouncing off of about $1.99, $2 there, and then see if we can break that resistance. See that stronger move towards that 382 at $2.40 before we really get that nice strong support way down here at $1.85. We had Solana requested last on the list, and then we will wind the show on down. We got Curtis Hill in the house. Good morning. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's get to some Solana. There we go. $137. Dang, look at that. Those old horizontals playing out perfectly. Gee, and that's why we leave our lines on the chart even if we get out of that range. Sometimes you just hide them and then you bring them back up when you get closer to that range. But like, look at that, stair stepping on all of our lines. Rejection, stair step off of 130, nice little move towards 133, nice move towards 143, and then back to 137. So looking quite nice for some Solana. Nice little uptrend there. Let's get this pulled up on the 4-hour, see what's going on. Nice strong rejection off of 143 there. We'll kind of have to see if we can hold 137. That has been some support on the shorter term time frame. We really want to see it hold on this higher term time frame though. As you can see, we are getting a little bit of a money flow divergence here. Money flow starting to wane just a little bit. Your volume is holding nice and steady. So if we do get a little bit of a cool off with a break below 137, look for some absorption around 133. That'd be that next strong price point, and the shorter term time frame could get a little bit of bouncing off 135. Let's get this zoomed on in. Take a look at our hourly here. As you can see, we're getting that nice little bounce off of 137 this morning. Do have a little bit further that we could go towards the downside though. MACD breaking below that 0 line. Volume is extremely low in that sell volume, and your money flow is starting to get lost just a little bit. So nice little sideways range here between that 140 and 137. We'll kind of have to see if we can get that break towards the upside just a little bit before a stronger correction here, if our money flow really starts to come on out here. So as you can see on that 15-minute, like we were talking about, money flow coming on out. We'll kind of have to see. We're getting a little bit of curvature here, a few bottoming indicators, but not really seeing some strong bottoms here, as you're faltering just a little bit at about the middle of this move towards the downside this morning. So keep your eyes on some of that. We could break that 137 towards the downside and see a short-term bounce at about 135. See if we reject off of 137 for stronger cool off at that 133. 133 is an extremely strong support area for now, and we'll have to see how price reacts at that area. So that's what I got for some Solana. Hopefully everyone has a great rest of their day. I might be in some chats, I might not. Internet is hit or miss at my job site for now, but we do have 2 other shows we do daily on the Piper Academy. Piper moved his showtime by 15 minutes, so it is 10:15 a.m. every single day. I will try to be in the chats there. We've got JR going live right after this, so stay tuned. We'll redirect you right over there. And we've also got one other show we do here on the Piper Academy at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That is Trading with OC. That is a place to be if you like to be a little bit of a degen on the charts, and you also like to put on tinfoil hats. So place to be every single day if you like to trade and you like to make money, and if you like macro data and you like to know how the economy is going to react. That morning market report is the place to be. But until next time, make sure to wake up, because today's going to be a good day.
Wake up, let's run it. Charts up, we love it. Backpack, we done it. GM, good morning, we run it. Sunrise hits like a highlight reel. Coffee poured, yeah, this grind feel real. Wallet looking healthy like a post-gym meal. Crypto fam locked in, no off-day deals. Throwing shade, now we throw confetti. Market bounce back, hands strong, we steady. Dreams too big, so the doubts feel petty. Bull mode hitting, hope you're ready.
We ain't stressing, we pressing, blessing the session. Turn every rejection to fuel for progression. Charts look clean, yeah, the vibe is a weapon. We build every day, this is compounding lessons. GM, we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Another day up, yeah, we glow. Hands to the sky like let's get paid. Chase big goals, not just upgrades. GM bowl, energy all day. Smile up, we're built this way. No fear, just flips and vibes. Turning old dreams into real life strides. Hard days hit, we don't divide. Team eats together when the market rides. Tap in early, that sunrise hustle. Bear tried to break us, couldn't touch muscle. Stack small wins, that's compound muscle. Every new block, another flex, no struggle. Climb fast, no breaks, no doubt. Big cheers when the green breaks out. Crypto fam in the chat, full shout. We don't clock in, we break out. 3M, we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Every candle's just fuel, let's blow. We don't watch life, we make waves. Another sunrise, another brave day. GM fam, let's go be great. Good morning, crypto, press play.